Hello everyone, and welcome back to Scary Story. Tonight we're venturing into a place where life once began and ended, a place now silent, decaying, and shrouded in darkness. We're talking about the old St. Jude's Hospital, abandoned for over 50 years, yet some say it's far from empty. St. Jude's was once the pride of our city. A state-of-the-art medical facility opened in the early 1930s. For decades, it served the community, witnessing thousands of births, miraculous recoveries, and of course heartbreaking losses. But by the late 1960s, a new, larger hospital was built across town, and St. Jude's was deemed obsolete. Its doors were locked, its windows boarded up, and it was left to the mercy of time. The story started almost immediately. Locals reported strange lights flickering in the empty windows, faces appearing and disappearing in the upper floors. People who lived nearby would hear what sounded like a baby crying in the dead of night, or the faint metallic squeak of a gurney wheel rolling down a deserted hallway. Of course, many dismissed these as overactive imaginations or tricks of the light, but the tales persisted, growing darker and more specific over the years. One of the most enduring legends is that of Nurse Eleanor, a dedicated nurse who worked in the psychiatric ward during the 1950s. She was known for her kindness and her fierce protection of her patients. The story goes that during a terrible fire that broke out in her ward, Eleanor refused to leave, trying desperately to evacuate everyone. Tragically, she was trapped by the flames and perished along with several patients. They say her spirit never left. Security guards hired to patrol the property have reported seeing a figure in a vintage nurse's uniform, walking the halls of the burnt-out wing, her footsteps echoing in the silence. Some have even claimed to hear a soft, humming voice, as if she's still trying to soothe her long-lost patients. Then there's the infamous third-floor maternity ward. This is where the reports of a crying infant are most common. The legend here is a sad one. A young woman gave birth to a child who was very ill, and passed away only a few hours later. The grief-stricken mother, inconsolable, refused to leave the hospital. Some versions of the story say she simply vanished from her room one night. Others claim she took her own life. Whatever the truth, people believe her sorrow and the infant's spirit are forever tied to that ward. Urban explorers who have snuck into the hospital have shared chilling audio recordings where, amidst the static, you can just make out the faint sound of a baby's cry, followed by a woman's mournful sobs. Perhaps the most unsettling area of St. Jude's is the basement, which housed the morgue. This is a place even the bravest explorers hesitate to enter. The air down there is said to be unnaturally cold, heavy with a sense of dread. There are countless reports of disembodied whispers, shadowy figures darting just at the edge of your vision, and the distinct, unnerving feeling of being watched. One group of paranormal investigators spent a night there and fled before dawn. They claimed their equipment went haywire, batteries draining in seconds, and their audio recorders captured a deep, guttural voice that seemed to say one word: "Get out." They refused to ever go back, stating that whatever resides in that morgue is not human and is intensely hostile. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from a former demolition surveyor named Frank. In the early 2000s, his company was hired to assess the building for a potential teardown. Frank had to go through the entire hospital, room by room, taking measurements and photos. He was a practical man, not one for ghost stories, but his experience at St. Jude's changed him. He described the overwhelming silence of the place, a quiet so deep it felt loud. He said as he worked his way up to the surgical suites on the 4th floor, the atmosphere grew heavier. When he entered the main operating theatre, the door swung shut behind him with a deafening bang, even though there was no draft. He tried the handle, but it was stuck fast. Panic started to set in as the temperature in the room dropped dramatically. He could see his own breath fogging in the air. Then he heard it, the slow, rhythmic beep of a heart monitor, starting faint and growing steadily louder, faster, until it flatlined into a long, continuous tone. Frank hammered on the door, screaming for help, and just as suddenly as it started, the sound stopped. The door clicked and swung open on its own. He ran from the building and never returned, quitting his job the very next day. So, is St. Jude's Hospital truly haunted? Are these stories just the product of decaying architecture and overactive minds? Or are the spirits of those who lived and died within its walls still wandering the empty corridors, replaying the final moments of their lives? The building still stands today, a dark silhouette against the skyline, holding its secrets close. Those who dare to approach it say you can feel its history, a profound sadness mixed with something else, something watchful and ancient. The mystery of the abandoned hospital continues, a chilling reminder that some places never truly die. They just wait. Thank you for joining me on another journey into the unknown. If you have a story about a haunted place you'd like me to explore, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Scary Story for more tales that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay safe and try not to listen too closely to the silence.